You're home late again, I said, watching Garrett peel off his jacket like he did every day. The clock on the wall showed 7:15 p.m., just like always. Work ran long, he mumbled, barely meeting my eyes. I wanted to say more, ask about his day, how he was feeling. But I stopped myself. We'd been doing this dance for months now. The same words, the same tired excuses. How was your day? I tried again, forcing a smile. Fine. His voice was flat. Just fine, I pressed, moving closer. You look exhausted. Yeah, and just work stuff. He turned on the TV, the glow lighting up his face, but not his eyes. I bit my lip and looked away. 4 years. 4 years of this. The wedding plans, the apartment, the dog, Biscuit, our little troublemaker. Everyone said we were perfect together. I even believed it once. I sighed. I was thinking about the presentation tomorrow. Right, you'll do great. He didn't ask how I felt or if I needed help. Just the same hollow support. Garrett, do you ever want to talk? About us? Or how I'm handling school? My voice cracked before I could stop it. He glanced at me briefly. You're just stressed. You'll be fine. That's not what I mean, I said, frustration rising. I'm not fine. You never listen. Maybe because you never stop talking about it. He shrugged and reached for the remote. I swallowed my hurt. I don't want to argue. He gave me a quick, distracted nod. Me neither. Later that night, I lay awake watching him scroll on his phone beside me. It felt like he was a stranger, even though we shared a bed. The silence screamed louder than any fight. I tried to tell myself it was just stress. Graduate school was hard. I was tired. He was tired. Life was hard. But deep down, I knew something was breaking between us. The next day, I met my classmates at the cafe near campus. Devon was there, smiling like sunshine in a cloudy world. You look exhausted, he said, handing me a coffee. Long night? Yeah, Garrett was late again. Same story. I laughed, but it felt hollow. You deserve better support, Devon said softly. Someone who actually listens. I know. My throat tightened. Devon nodded, eyes warm. I get it. I'm juggling my own chaos too, but at least we can talk about it. It was the first time in months I felt heard. We spent the afternoon talking about everything. School, dreams, fears. He remembered the little things I'd said before, like how I hated early classes or my favorite coffee order. You're doing amazing, he told me. Don't let anyone make you feel otherwise. I smiled, really smiled, for the first time in a while. But guilt hit me fast. Garrett was waiting at home, alone with Biscuit. That evening, Garrett was on the couch, staring. At the TV again, Devon called, I asked, trying to sound casual. He blinked. Who? Devon. From my program. No, why? I don't know. Just curious. He grunted and went back to his game. I bit my lip, fighting the sadness. Do you miss how things used to be? I whispered. He didn't answer. Garrett. He shrugged. What do you want me to say? That night, I cried alone in the kitchen while he slept. I thought I had the perfect life, but the cracks were getting harder to ignore. You okay? Devon's voice broke through my scattered thoughts as I slumped into the chair beside him at the campus cafe. I forced a smile. Just tired. Garrett's been the same, distant. He nodded, eyes sharp. You want to talk about it? I hesitated. I don't know. Sometimes I think he's here, but not really. Like he's gone somewhere else. Devon frowned. That sounds rough. Does he even notice? Not really. I laughed bitterly. If I say I'm overwhelmed, he tells me to manage my time better, like I'm failing at this on purpose. It sounds like he's not listening. Exactly. It's like talking to a wall. My voice cracked. He says the same things every day, acts like everything's fine. But it's not. Devon leaned in. Have you told him how that makes you feel? Yeah. I sighed. But he just brushes it off. I'm the one who has to keep things together. Remember birthdays, plan dinners, juggle school and life. And he acts like I'm making a big deal out of nothing. Sounds exhausting. It is. I ran my hands through my hair. Sometimes I wonder if he even cares anymore. Devon's eyes softened. You deserve someone who cares, Kinsley. I looked away, guilt gnawing at me. I don't want to be that person who complains all the time. No one expects you to be perfect. You just need someone who hears you. I nodded slowly. That's why I talk to you so much. He smiled gently. I'm glad. You shouldn't have to carry this alone. Our conversation drifted to schoolwork, and for a moment I forgot the emptiness waiting for me at home. Later that night I found Garrett on the couch, his face lit by the flickering TV. Hey, you busy this weekend? I asked, trying to sound casual. He didn't look away. Why? Our class is celebrating finishing midterms. Thought maybe you'd come. He grunted. I'm tired. Probably just stay here with Biscuit. I forced a laugh. Of course, you would, he shrugged. I like relaxing at home. I felt a sting. I'm stressed, and you don't want to be there for me. He sighed. I'm not good with crowds. That's not the point, Garrett. He paused, then said quietly, maybe you need to stop expecting so much from me. His words hit harder than I expected. I'm not asking for much, just some support. He shook his head. You don't get it. I have my own stress too. I stared at him, feeling the distance widen between us. It's always about your stress, isn't it? Garrett didn't answer. The next day, I met Devon again. His presence felt like a balm on my cracked heart. You're quiet today, he said, handing me a latte. I'm tired, I admitted. Home feels colder than ever. He frowned. Is Garrett really the guy you thought he was? I don't know anymore. My voice trembled. I love him, but he doesn't love me the way I need. Devon's gaze was steady. Sometimes, love isn't enough when someone isn't present. Yeah, I looked down. I'm scared this is how it's going to be forever. Don't settle for less, Kinsley. I smiled, thankful for his words, but a part of me screamed that I was betraying Garrett by leaning on him. Later, my best friend called. How's Garrett? I hesitated. Distant. He didn't come to the party. She sighed. Maybe he's checked out. I don't want to believe that. Sometimes people don't show you who they really are until it's too late. Her words haunted me as I hung up. That night, Garrett was quiet, scrolling on his phone. Did you think about the party? I asked softly. No. I wish you'd wanted to be there. I wish you understood. I just need peace. The words felt like a door slamming shut. I swallowed my tears and whispered, I'm lonely, Garrett. He looked up briefly. We all feel lonely sometimes. I wanted to scream, to beg him to see me, but instead I nodded and turned away. I lay awake, again, replaying every conversation, every silence. I felt trapped between love and despair, craving connection, but drowning in loneliness. I wondered if I was losing him, or if I'd already lost myself. Are you sure you want to do this? My best friend asked as we stood outside the bar. I laughed nervously. I need a break. I've been buried in school for weeks. She smiled. Good. Tonight's about fun. Inside, the buzz of laughter and music hit me like a wave. I scanned the room and spotted Devon already chatting with a group. He caught my eye and waved me over. Hey, Kinsley. Glad you made it, he said, handing me a drink. I smiled, feeling warmth spread through me. Thanks for the invite. We found a booth and settled in. The stress that clung to me all week started to melt away. So, how'd your presentation go? Devon asked, eyes genuinely interested. It went okay. Better than I expected, I replied, sipping my drink. You're smarter than you give yourself credit for. That made me blush. Thanks. He leaned closer, his voice dropping. You deserve to hear that more often. I bit my lip, heart pounding. I don't hear it from Garrett. Devon's expression softened. I'm sorry. The night slipped by in a blur of laughter, shared stories, and stolen glances. Each time Devon touched my arm or laughed at my jokes, I felt something I hadn't in years. Seen, valued. When a karaoke song started, Devon nudged me. You have to sing. I shook my head. No way. Come on, just one song. I hesitated, but agreed, climbing on stage with a nervous laugh. Devon cheered the loudest. When I returned, flushed and smiling, he whispered, You're amazing. I wanted to believe it. Later, as the crowd thinned, Devon and I sat closer. The distance between us charged. You're different tonight, he said softly. Maybe it's the drinks, I joked, but my voice wavered. He reached out, brushing a stray hair behind my ear. I've always thought you're incredible. My breath caught. Devon. He smiled, leaning in slowly. I wish Garrett saw you like I do. I closed my eyes as his lips met mine. It was electric, overwhelming, his hands in my hair, my hands on his chest. I felt wanted, desired. For a moment, the weight of my lonely nights disappeared. When we pulled apart, breathless, he whispered, You deserve to be loved this way. I wanted to pull back, remind him I was committed. But the truth was, I craved this. I shouldn't, I murmured. Sometimes we need what we think we don't, he said. I didn't argue. Outside the bar, the night air hit me like a shock. Are you okay? Devon asked, concern in his eyes. I'm confused, I admitted. He nodded. Me too. I love Garrett, I said, voice breaking. And I don't want to hurt you, Devon replied. I know. I swallowed the lump in my throat. Devon hesitated, then said, My apartment's close. We don't have to rush off. I glanced at my dead phone battery and nodded. At his place, silence hung between us. Devon stepped closer. I want you to know, this isn't just about tonight. Neither is it for me, I whispered. He took my hands. You're not alone, Kinsley. I felt tears prick my eyes. I've been so lonely. Devon pulled me into a hug. I'm here. We kissed again, softer this time, like a promise. But guilt crept in, twisting my stomach. I should call an Uber, I said, pulling away. Devon nodded, picking up his phone. When the driver arrived, I watched the city lights blur past, heart racing. Was this the start of something new, or the beginning of the end? I woke up to Garrett's steady breathing beside me. The soft rhythm should have been comforting, but all I felt was weight, the weight of what I hadn't told him. Morning, he mumbled, reaching for his phone. Morning, I replied, forcing a smile. He barely looked at me. I'm making coffee, I said, sliding out of bed. Okay. His voice was distant. As I poured the coffee, my mind replayed last night. The kiss, Devon's touch, that electric feeling I hadn't known I missed. I told myself it was a mistake. Just one night, drunk and confused, nothing more. But then my phone buzzed, a Snapchat from Devon. Good morning, sunshine. Hope you slept well. I stared at it. My heart sped up. I typed back. Barely survived. You? Same. Too much celebrating. The thrill of his message was dangerous, but I craved it. Garrett walked in, rubbing his eyes. Did you sleep okay? He asked, yawning. Yeah. You? Fine. He shrugged. I wanted to tell him everything, to confess the secret I was carrying, but the words caught in my throat. Instead, I said, Got a lot to do today. Yeah? His tone was indifferent. Yeah. Classes, study group, thesis. He nodded but didn't ask for details. I realized he never did any more. Later, I sat in the library, Devon's messages lighting up my screen. Hey, how's the thesis coming? Slow, stressed, want to vent? I hesitated, then typed, Yeah, actually, he replied almost instantly. I'm here. Talk to me. I spilled my frustrations, late nights, impossible deadlines, feeling invisible at home. He listened, He understood. That was dangerous. Devon, I whispered to myself, guilt gnawing. At home that evening, Garrett was glued to the TV. Did you check your emails? I asked, trying to spark conversation. Not yet, I sighed. School's been overwhelming. He glanced at me. You always say that. I felt a flash of anger. Because it's true. Maybe you just need to manage your time better. His words hit like a slap. I'm doing my best. Yeah, sure. He smirked. I turned away, tears burning. That night, Devon's texts kept me company. Wish I was there to help. Me too. I knew I was crossing lines, emotional lines, but it felt so good to be seen. Days passed in this blur of lies. I smiled at Garrett's jokes while texting Devon under the table. I ignored Garrett's distracted glances as I checked my phone late at night. One afternoon, Garrett said, "You're on your phone a lot lately." I shrugged. Just talking to classmates. Seems like more than that. I froze. It's nothing, I said quickly. But it wasn't nothing. Devon sent a selfie, shirtless, smiling. I stared at it, my pulse quickening. I deleted it before Garrett could see. I told myself I was just friends. With Devon, that the kiss was a mistake, a one-time thing. But every message, every late-night chat pulled me deeper. I was living two lives. One with Garrett, safe but empty. One with Devon, exciting but forbidden. One night, Garrett came home early, hid my phone under the pillow. He sat beside me. "Can I see your phone?" he asked quietly. Panic surged. "Why?" I said, voice shaking. "Just want to talk. Be honest." I hesitated. "I'm tired, Garrett. Can't we just trust each other?" He looked hurt. "Trust is earned," he said softly. I nodded. Guilt choking me. I gave him my phone. He scrolled, eyes searching. I wanted to disappear. "Who's Devon?" he asked. "Just a friend from school." He didn't say more, but I saw the doubt in his eyes. That night, I lay awake again, torn between guilt and desire. I wanted to fix things with Garrett. I wanted to run away with Devon. But most of all, I wanted to find myself. I didn't know who I was anymore. "Garrett, we need to talk." My voice trembled as I watched him sink into the couch, eyes tired but alert. He looked up, expectant. "What is it?" I took a deep breath, swallowing the lump in my throat. "I kissed someone 2 weeks ago." The words felt like they echoed off the walls, heavy and sharp. His face froze. "You what?" "I'm so sorry," I rushed on. "It was a mistake. It didn't mean anything." He stared at me, disbelief etched deep. "Why didn't you tell me?" "I was scared," I admitted, tears prickling. "I didn't want to hurt you. I thought I could fix it myself." He ran a hand through his hair, voice low. "You lied for 2 weeks. Every day, you looked me in the eye and didn't say a word." "I know," I whispered, heartbreaking. "I was wrong." Garrett stood and paced, eyes dark. "If we're going to try and fix this, there have to be rules, no more secrets." "I agree," I said quickly, desperate to make things right. He stopped and faced me. "I want full access to your phone, your social media. No more going out without me. No private conversations with him. Or anyone else for that matter." I blinked, stunned. "That feels controlling." "It's trust, Kinsley. You broke it." I clenched my fists, fighting the urge to lash out. "I made a mistake, not a crime." He shook his head. "You made choices. Choices to hide it, to keep lying." The room felt smaller, suffocating. "I just want us to heal," he said softly. "I do too," I replied, voice tight. "I'm scared." He softened, sitting beside me. "I'm scared too." We sat in silence, the fragile truce hanging between us like a thin thread. I knew the road ahead would be harder than I imagined. "Did you see who messaged you during class?" Garrett's voice cut through the quiet dinner. I stiffened. Just classmates. He narrowed his eyes. Seems like more than classmates. I forced a laugh. You're reading too much into things. Maybe, he said, but you've been secretive lately. I looked away, swallowing the lump in my throat. I'm just stressed. Is that why you hide your phone from me? I'm not hiding it, I snapped, then bit my lip. Feels like it. He sighed, tired. Later, in class, Devon smiled when I walked in. I caught his eye but quickly looked down. Are you okay? He whispered during the lecture. Fine, I replied, though my heart raced. We worked on the group project together. His hand brushed mine briefly. I didn't pull away. At home, Garrett asked again, Who's Devon, really? I hesitated. Just a friend. Why don't you tell me everything? Because I'm scared you won't understand. He shook his head. I want honesty. I'm trying, I whispered. One night I texted Devon, Can we meet? I need to talk. He replied, Of course. When Garrett found the messages, his face fell. Why didn't you tell me? I didn't want to hurt you. He looked away. I'm already hurting. I realized trust wasn't just broken, it was bleeding. Tell me everything, Garrett said, voice steady, but eyes sharp. No more secrets. I swallowed hard, my chest tightening. Okay, I'll tell you. He nodded, waiting. The cab ride, after the bar. Devon gave the driver his address instead of mine, I said, voice barely above a whisper. Garrett's face tightened. You went to his place? I looked down, ashamed. Yes. We kissed again, more than once. His breath hitched. Why didn't you tell me this before? I was scared. I didn't want to hurt you more than I already had. He shook his head slowly. You broke everything. Tears welled in my eyes. I know. I'm sorry. Sorry isn't enough. His voice cracked. How could you lie to me for weeks after? I thought I could fix it. I didn't want to lose you. Garrett looked away, pain etched deep. I trusted you. I betrayed that trust. My voice trembled. He stood abruptly. I don't know who you are anymore. I reached out, but he stepped back. Please, I pleaded. Can we work through this? He shook his head. I'm already gone. Days later, Garrett changed, more distant, stronger in ways I didn't recognize. I watched helplessly as the man I loved slipped away. Garrett, please. I'll do anything, I pleaded, holding his hand tighter than I should. He pulled away, cold and distant. Promises aren't enough anymore. I'll quit school. We can start fresh, I said, desperation thick in my voice. He shook his head. It's not that simple. I saw the new fire in his eyes. Strength I hadn't noticed before. You're changing, I whispered, fear creeping in. He smiled faintly. Maybe it's the betrayal waking me up. One night, I found the anniversary gift I'd given him tossed in the trash. Why? I asked, voice cracking. He didn't answer, but slid the wedding ring off his finger and set it on the table. I can't pretend things are the same, he said. I spiraled, lonely nights, envy creeping in when I saw him with someone new. He was rebuilding while I was falling apart. His quiet revenge was leaving me behind, piece by piece. I'm tired of feeling like this, I said to my therapist, voice barely steady. She nodded gently. It's the first step, admitting you need help. I betrayed Garrett. I betrayed myself. I swallowed hard. I don't know who I am anymore. Who do you want to be? She asked. I paused. Someone honest. Someone whole. Later, I called my best friend. I'm scared I'll never get past this. You're stronger than you think, she said. I'll be here every step. I started small, journaling, therapy sessions, reconnecting with friends. One day, I saw Garrett's new girlfriend on social media. A pang of envy but also clarity. He moved on, and I needed to move too. I'm not perfect. I made mistakes, but I'm learning to forgive myself. This is just the beginning. I stood outside the venue, heart pounding, alone, for the first time in months. No lies, no secrets. A friend approached, smiling. "Glad you made it," I nodded. "Me too." Inside, laughter buzzed. I felt the old sting, memories of Garrett, the pain, but also something new, strength. "Have you been okay?" she asked gently. I smiled, honest this time. "I'm learning to be." I caught my reflection in a mirror. No more pretending. Voice inside whispered, "You deserve better." I thought of Garrett, his new life, and mine. No regrets. Only lessons. I vowed then, never again would I lose myself to someone else's neglect. Tonight, I was whole and free.